Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.
Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
This is D.
And we are the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. We've been married as of June 28th, which was about 4 weeks ago, not quite, for 38 years. 38 years. Haven't had an argument in over 36 years now. You say 35, but 36 years. And we still really like each other. So we got a good thing going on. But it didn't happen by chance or happenstance. It happened because of some principles. And so we want to share those with you. I want to say hello to Greg and Linda Kazera. We saw them
in Orlando,
Florida last week for the National Speakers Association convention. And they are home in West Virginia today. So, and congratulations. Thank you, Greg and Linda, for those congratulations. I appreciate it. We're going to take a moment first to greet everybody and then to discuss for a moment the big happenings that have happened here in the Jolley house in the last week. So for those who are not on my social media or have not heard some of the news shows and some of the radio programs have been promoting the fact that on last Monday night, I'm still in shock. I'm still in awe. Last Monday night, I was the recipient of the highest award given in the speaking industry from the National Speakers Association, named after the founder of the National Speakers Association, Cavett Robert. The award is called the Cavett, and it is the highest, most cherished award in the industry. And last Monday night, I was blessed, just blessed to get the award and to have the stars align. God just blessed everything that it would work out just wonderfully. One, I got the award. Two, my buddy, my mentor, my friend, Les Brown was sitting next to me. He hasn't been to a convention in about 10 years. And so he was there, and when they said my name, he just started crying and he said he was just crying like a little girl. That's what he said. I didn't say it, but he said, and then third, our mentee, Les, I introduced Les to a young man I met when he was a student at University of Central Florida, and said, I want to be a speaker. And I met him and I mentored him, and then I introduced him to Les, and Les mentored him, named Delatoro McNeil. And Delatoro McNeil often on this show will pop in. And Delatoro is the one who gave us the title, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, because we were going to call it the Jolley Marriage Book. And he said, no, I got a better title for y'all. So we want to thank him, but he got inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame. So Delatoro got in the Speaker Hall of Fame. Les was there to celebrate that. None of us have any idea that I'm going to get the Cavett Award. It's a secret award, very secret award. No one knows in the room except the president, the CEO, and her. And then, of course, because of her, then my son and my assistant knew. Because they had to sneak them in. They had to fly them in and be what I call back channel. They were back channeling all this stuff, and I got no wind of it. So when they called my name, I was speechless, stunned, shocked.
Speechless. That's memorable.
That's unbelievable. People are saying that I did give a good speech, a great speech. I gave the best I can. And you know what? I had no preparation that I got a speech written out. I just let the Spirit lead. I just wanted to be grateful, and I wanted to make sure people knew how I appreciated people in that room. And most importantly, I wanted to give God glory. And I hope I did that. And that was my first and most important goal, was to start off making sure people knew that I am grateful to God. And I give the Lord Jesus praise for making it all happen and giving me the opportunity and helping me see that when I got fired from my nightclub job and I came home and told my wife I was going to do something different, and I wasn't quite sure what. And then I got this job by chance, just by chance.
Well, no, it was not by chance. God obviously orchestrated it, because you never met the guy who actually solidified the position for you, because he died.
Well, no, he died. He died after I was there, though. I got hired by him. I knew him, okay, but the fact that I did not go after the job, someone said referred me, said there's a position that we think you would be good for. I'm not even in the job market per se. I'm just ending up my singing career, and I get this job offer that looks for somebody who has a background in education, counseling, theater and arts, and music. Well, I had all of those, and they said someone recommended you for this job.
So somebody's always watching.
So God would orchestrate that. So that's why I had to give him the praise, had to give him the honor, and give the Lord Jesus praise. And then from there to become part of the National Speakers Association.
And you worked very hard.
I became the president of the local chapter. I was on the board of national. I've been in many positions and served, and I get the highest award. So thank you, Gladys Pemberton.
So that was a combination
Kelly,
of excellence and
Dave,
and serving others.
Service is the rent we pay. We pay for our space when they serve. That's really what I wanted people to hear. And so grateful. And then my wife. I got to take a moment to really shout out my wife, because they were really, really good at keeping this from me. They had all sorts of back channel stuff, that they had a separate email chain and a Facebook chain and text chain and the email.
So I can simply keep a secret. That's all.
You are good at keeping a secret. You're really good. And up until we were getting dressed for the night, she said, "Oh, what dress do you think I should wear? Oh, it's not a big deal." I said, "Okay, well, it's no big deal to you, no big deal to me, whatever you want to wear." And I gave her my recommendations. She got William in the room. She got Cheryl in the room. They done made all these plans. They done got them in there. They done snuck them in the loading bay office, come up the staff elevator so no one would see
that. That was the easy part. But William's flight was canceled. There was a whole bunch of other stuff going on behind the scenes. His flight had been canceled. I still have the email chain. No, the text chain. I will share it with you when, you're in New York, you headed to Houston. Oh, the flight was canceled in Houston. There's this weather delay. There's all this other kind of stuff going on. And we were letting the people at NSA know. So we had a separate text chain. But you didn't need to know that.
Woo! I did not only need it, I didn't know. I had no clue. So you said my wife is my partner. And let me tell you what I said about her. And eventually we'll get the video from my message. But I said about her was this: how important it is to have a wife, a person, a supporter. That when I said I was going to quit my job with DC Public Schools and become a full-time speaker, she said, "Okay, let's do it."
First of all, I didn't know what that was.
Well, you didn't know what a speaker was. But I said I was going to quit my job.
I
All
know.
right? That was the source of income to put our kids in private schools. So I'm quit my job, come full-time speaker. That's first. Second, when I said to her, I'm going to leave the youth market and I'm going to take a chance on going to speaking for adults. She said, "You can do it." When I said I wanted to go to NSA, we had no money. We had been saving all year, every penny, every dollar, every little change to put in an account for William's tuition at a Christian school that he went to. We would save up all year. This is July. Tuition is due like September? August. And I need to go to this convention. And she said, we could tap that money. We had no money. And I got to get air ticket and.
Well, thankfully, credit card processing was much slower.
Yes. Well, that was for my registration. But just to tap it, to go get the ticket, I had to get the ticket in cash, and I had to pay for that and whatever else. And she said, "Let's do it. Let's tap that money. Let's take the chance." Those are the risks that you have. Last lesson I want to share with you. My wife also was with me when I said I want to one day win that cabin, and I wrote it on a piece of paper. One day, that's a goal. I mean, it's a stretch of a goal, but you should write the goal. Write the vision, make it plain, that he that reads it may run the race. Oh, it may tarry, but be confident that it will come to be.
So you write the vision and you make it plain, but then you have to do the work.
You have to do the work, and then you
Just
have to.
Writing it is not enough.
You have to work. Faith without works is dead. So this is the lesson I want people to understand. I wrote the vision 31 years ago, because I went 32 years ago to my first convention. I didn't know what a cabot was, but that second year when I joined, I figured out the cabot. I said, well, what are my goals? One day I want to be a CPAE, which is Speaker Hall of Fame. I did that in 2005. But I also wrote on that same day, one day I want to win the cabot, which is the highest award. I wrote it down. And I forgot it. I forgot I'd written it. But I knew it was somewhere to be found in one of my books. And then when it came to be, I said, praise the Lord, that when you work and you have faith and you have confidence, and you got a great helpmate. I got to say, this is a big part of it. You got somebody who supports you, encourages you, who pushes you to live your dream.
When I say encourage you, there's a whole bunch of hard work going on behind the scenes, like the duck, who appears to be very cool
just
on the surface,
across.
but you're working like crazy behind the scenes. So every time he comes up with this new idea, in this time, I'm taking a deep breath. Oh Lord, how are we gonna make this happen? But I never say, I don't think you can do that. I'm thinking detail. I'm thinking, okay, now how are we going to make this work? How are we going to have to figure it out? And as I said, so many people who had pleasant, nice comments that he's flying the plane and I'm putting it together as he's flying it. And I think a great summary is the movie that on a high wire.
The Greatest Showman?
The Greatest Showman is a great example, I think, of what you are. And I've chosen to be on this high wire with you. So never quite sure as to when there might be a slip. But my goal is to be as prepared for the outrageous, because it often happens.
We just keep taking shots. My cousin Erica called me the other day, and she said, you and Dee are such a great team, because y'all work together so well. I said, I'm the tree shaker. She's the jelly maker. So I shake the tree. She makes jelly, apple jelly, apple butter, applesauce. She take it.
In a practical sense, what that says is he fights to bring the revenue in, and I fight to make sure that revenue stretches in a variety of ways, which is saving,
right,
investing in your long term, your retirement, when you no longer want to do this. All of these exciting things out front. You have to have also the behind the scenes, the detail and the protection of your resources,
right?
The paying of the taxes, all of these forms and things when you're in business, the S corp, an LLC, or whatever. There are all of these pieces that are dull and boring,
right?
That have to be done while you're out there being the greatest showman in the world.
Well, that's what I try and do, be the greatest showman in the world. And I try and give people who come to see us something valuable and something of interest and something that makes a difference. So very grateful. Thank y'all all.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you everybody who has made positive statements. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Charles, Tisha,
Thank you.
Greg, Mac, and Scarlett, my dear friend Scarlett Hart. So God bless y'all. Thank you. Okay. So let's start. We won't get all of it. We only got
so a
13.
slight twist.
Okay.
And this topic is a result of.
Okay, why don't you tell them how this came to be? Because this one.
That's what I was saying.
Okay, because this is 2 parts. There's going to be multiple parts.
So always in conversation, when Willie is speaking or after he spoke, or certainly after Monday's awards and the like, I always get from the ladies, how is it that he talks to you about you like that? How can I get my husband to talk
how do I
about
talk
me?
about, say that you're making an assumption they know how I talk about them like that. Tell them what I say. Oh, let me say it because she can't say it. I say, when I'm on stage, I love my wife. I would crawl over broken glass to get to her. If she were to decide to leave me, I would tell her, I'm coming with you. This is my partner. And so when I say that, women are inspired, empowered, encouraged.
They want to know how I do it.
Yes, okay.
So this particular question about silent treatment is really the topic. But this question came about as a result of, we were at the Tuesday function.
Tuesday night in Orlando.
Dell had a party.
Toro had a party
CPA,
for his CPA
and his 20th year in business, and we were there. And I always get the ladies who ask questions, and this was, how do you handle your husband, who is this public figure, and what do you do when you have disagreements, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the specific question was, I've gone through a divorce. This particular lady has gone through a divorce. It was an abusive situation. I asked her, I said, are you in therapy? She is, yes. She's in counseling. Mm-hmm. And she says, I am. I'm with a really nice man now. He's kind, he's thoughtful. And when I disagree, when we have disagreements, I just go silent. I said, oh. Now we're in the midst of this dancing. There's all kinds of stuff going on. You know, people ask, and I said, oh. I said, you're silent? I said, what does that mean? And she said, well, I just stopped talking to him. I said, okay, you stopped talking to him for a couple of hours? No, I can go days stop talking to him.
Woo!
She said, I can go days not talking to him. So my immediate response was, does he know what he's done to make you upset, so upset you're not talking to him? So how can you change the situation if you're not telling him what the problem is? If you're not telling him why you're upset? And he's a very nice man. He came over. He said hello. He seemed to have a gentle spirit. Now I just met him.
Right.
But she's like, I just stopped talking to him for days. So I said, and how's that working for you? Huh?
Wow.
That's like, what's the guy that comes on? Phil.
Dr. Phil?
Dr. Phil said, and how's that working for you?
Right.
So we were having a little conversation on the side about, I said, that does not work. Right?
Right.
I said, is this what you did in your first relationship? You know, it was abusive, but that's how she dealt with that in the first relationship. I said, well, what you did in the first relationship, that didn't work. So why are you taking it into your current one? And it's not that she really knew, but it's just kind of some things I think we just start doing because that's what we did before. Right. So then we have to get into what I call a pattern interrupt. You can't keep doing the same thing. So this is a continuation of the conversation from last Tuesday night that I had with this wonderful lady who is out of Florida. Right. And so the specific topic became one of The Painful Sounds of Silence.
Ooh.
That was the title. It was kind of the sexy
painful
title.
sound of silence.
You are upset. You are annoyed. Something has happened.
Yes.
With your partner, your mate, your husband, your wife, and then you just choose to shut down. You
shut it down.
You're in the same space. And then you don't talk to them.
Don't talk at all.
You pass them by.
And we've had, and as we started talking about this, we got input.
Don't say from whom.
I'm not gonna say from whom. I'm not gonna say from. I knew, but we got input from people in our network,
in our inner circle.
Our inner circle. And we said, well, you know, this is what we think about talking about this conversation. Because her lady had D cornered. You know, she was like, D was. They were in an intense conversation, and so. And this person I in a circle said, yeah, well, I did the same in my marriage. And I'd go for weeks sometimes.
Wow. To me, that's like, wow. And
we would pass notes. We communicate through passing a note or
communicate
through
to the children, which
tell
is not good.
Tell your dad that I said, what? And I asked, well, where did you learn this? Where did you get this from?
I just thought of it.
No. She didn't just think of it.
You think not?
No, she thought she thought of it. She was influenced by television. That's the kind of stuff you see in movies.
I don't know.
I mean, reality shows. You know, people.
Well, when she was doing that, I don't think there was.
But it wasn't that. But it's same difference. Television. Oh, I'm going to give you the silent treatment. All you have to hear. You've heard that before in your life. Somebody gonna give somebody the silent treatment. I'm a fix you. I mean, you that's something that people have said for eons. And so somewhere she picked up that, oh, that's how you deal with when you're upset.
But it doesn't solve anything.
No.
It's just like when I'm upset with you, and I will say, now we've had a wonderful relationship, so some things we can joke about. And I said, I am not going to talk to you anymore. And let me tell you exactly why I'm not going to talk to you anymore. And then I proceed to go on and on and on and on.
And I laugh.
And you laugh. You don't pay me any attention.
And we talk about it. And if there were an issue, I mean a real issue, we would fix it at the root.
We've got to talk about it until there is a resolution.
Right. We fix it before it comes. When it's a little problem, rather than wait until it keeps expanding and growing. And that's what most people do, is just let it expand.
So we want to go back and be specific about the silent treatment.
Okay.
Right? The pain of the silent treatment.
The pain
so the first thing,
the painful sound of silence. That's the name of this. The painful sound of silence.
The painful sound.
And obviously it's going to be part one. Because we got about 4 more minutes.
First of all, you just interrupting.
Okay, but I want to make sure people know that this is going to be a multi-part program because.
Okay, what is the silent treatment? Because we were going through. Well, you were saying it's stonewalling. It's not just that, and I'm like, well,
I'm
majority
glad you did
of
the
us
research.
don't know what I think. I didn't know really what stonewalling was. What? So first, what is the silent treatment? It's a passive aggressive behavior.
Yeah.
And so you are the psychosociology person. What is passive aggressive?
Well, passive aggressive is where you look like you're going here, but you look like you're pulling back, but you're going forward. It's passive aggressive. It's not being straight ahead. It's not saying, here's what's going on in my life. It's passive. It's tricky. It's costume jewelry. It's putting on a facade about how you really feel. You're not clear. You're not straight ahead. You're not loving and caring, and
you're not communicating. You're
Correct.
not honestly communicating.
Correct. Open and honest communication.
And you're not communicating because you want to maybe punish or hurt the other person.
That is part of it. Or you want to punish or hurt them. You want to let them know you're not happy. But you don't tell them.
And then you leave them guessing, because then they got to figure out, what exactly did I do?
Right.
To cause
they have to make assumptions. And you know what assume means? Assume means this makes a ASS out of you and me. So That is why you should not assume. Tell people what it is you want them to know, what it is that is bothering you. Have a conversation. Now, you don't have to, we go back to the 4S, which we'll talk about in more greater
that's
detail.
part of the answer, but the end result is it's not a productive form of communication.
No.
To get the unsaid said and to resolve any differences.
Okay, someone just asked, what if it is because you're afraid of the conversation? Yes.
And that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons for why people use silent treatment.
Right.
So you are right on. Sometimes they are afraid of, if they say it, they might act it out.
Right.
Because they're not sure that they can control their emotions. Once it starts to spew, maybe they'll get violent.
Maybe.
Right.
So, or the other person will get violent.
Or the other person will get violent. So you don't say anything. And in the case of the young lady that I was talking to, her first husband was physically abusive.
Right.
So that was a situation that she was coming
But
out
let me
of.
answer the question. We got 1 minute left in this show. Because this is important. She asked, what if you're afraid of it? That goes back to the 4S. Be friendly. Always be friendly. And have a friendly attitude, a friendly personality, a friendly delivery. Okay, be friendly. Then be frank about how you feel, how something made you feel. So by being silent, here's how this makes me feel. It makes me feel devalued.
So the example. Let's give a practical example.
Let's say be fair. I want to get them through because we're almost out. Be fair. Listen to this. And why do you say that? Why do you do that? And then be focused on a win-win. If you can do that, but what most people do is they'll end that conversation. They start pointing. Well, you did this, you did that. We want you not to do that. We don't want you to do that. Be friendly, be frank about how it made you feel. Point to yourself. This is how that made me feel. Be fair and be focused on the win-win. What are we gonna say, baby?
When you go back to be friendly, and sometimes that I know that could be very hard when you
are
like pissed off.
It's
hard. You might need to take a mental break.
You might have to take a walk.
Physical break or something.
Yep.
But be friendly. Be frank
about how you feel. How
so
you feel.
The example there, because I had to share that, the example there is to say, when you say or when you do this, it makes me feel. This is how that makes me feel. When you do, this is how it makes me feel. No one can take away how you feel. And
we learned one thing we've been talking about. You have to name the feeling, not just say, I feel some kind of way. No, you have to say, I do feel devalued, I feel hurt.
Or I feel angry. Nobody knows what some kind of way is.
I would. Angry is not what I would do, because angry is I'm pissed off at you, or I'm angry with you, or I'm upset with you. No, they know that. That's already. But when you say it, why do you feel angry? Because your feelings were hurt. What's the reason for the anger? Something that made you, I felt disrespected. You made me feel disrespected. That could make you angry. I felt devalued. That could make you angry. Okay. So thank you. I'm suffering in a situation and found your conversation. God ordered my steps. Amen. I'm glad you're here.
Amen.
Do you have the book? Look, I'm encouraging everybody.
What chapter is that deals with that?
Yeah, that's chapter number. It's chapter number 4, as well as how to have uncomfortable conversations. Okay. 2 copies of the book. Go to Jolley Marriage. We give you a discount. Go to Jolley Marriage. You get 2 copies. With 1 copy is $27.95, but you get 2 copies for $40. Go get it. 2 copies, and y'all read it together, or get the audio book and listen together. Either one.
Here's what I would say: if you are in an abusive relationship, you need to consider removing yourself from the relationship. We're not telling anyone.
No, nobody.
Physically abusive.
No physical abuse. No. But mental abuse. But here's what I am saying. Some of that, now that goes back to, we're going to talk about it next week. Next week, we're going to talk about the 4 sides of the silent treatment. Who's affected? All the 4 sides. We said it was 2 sides, husband and wife. No, there's more involved. We're going to talk about it next week. Our time is up. We got to go. Join us next week, next Monday night. We're going to do part 2 about this, because this is so profound, and it was such a profound question with Dee taught. All right, we got to go. Our time is up. Thank y'all. Hey, here we go. Have a great one.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near. Just like me, they long to be close to you.